We're in Los Angeles, California, Cities of Angels, the bomb bag of the United States.
And what's the name of the studio we're at?
Salami Studios.
But it's not called Salami outside, is it?
It's called Devonshire Studios.
Because that was famous years ago.
And you can't change the name, and you can't have something called salami, and you can't put a large salami on the marquee on the street. Not in this neighborhood.
And we're doing voiceover work.
Yes, we are.
So how many voiceover people did you have to listen to?
Before we narrowed it down to 13, 50, 60.
How many hours was that?
50, 60.
So we're here, we're in Los Angeles, we're actually at a recording studio, which has got a very silly name, it's a great example of what happens when EA came in. A lot of people get a little bit nervous when, Electronic Arts, large, big company, they sort of acquire Mythic, and what's it going to do? Well, people are quite quick to look at, the potential dark side without seeing the potential upside. The upside is that for this game, we were able to go off to a proper professional recording studio. We're able to get in proper voice actors, and we've been able to script out, book proper time. And what that's allowed us to do is bring a level of warmth and joy to the game that we'd never be able to achieve when we were working as Mythic on our own, even with the best of intentions.
As far as giving direction to actors goes, they're all professionals, so they know what to do. They've done this a lot of times before. So most of the time you put the script in front of them, say run through this 3 or 4 times, and they'll nail it. If there's something they're missing, we'll go back and say, oh, you need to be angrier or taller or pinker or do it in boots. But then there's other ones where they're way off the mark, or pronunciation is crazy. The whole thing has to be done with a faux British accent, for one thing. And then we've got them saying things like, the Osurian Drushi of Ulthuan must protect them. Nobody knows how to say any of that kind of stuff. So we have to go back and forth with that.
Pronunciation? Pronunciation here is Teclis.
To Teclis the wise! To Teclis the wise!
And then lastly, the screaming and the dying and the pain and things like that. By the time an actor has already said a couple thousand lines of dialogue, they pretty much just want to go home. And then we're asking them to blow their pipes out so they can't work out for the rest of the week for anybody else. Scream louder, again, 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 louder, louder, louder. So it takes a lot of gentle pushing and getting them to really give us their all. Things like die more honorably, even though you've died 32 times already. This death needs to be particularly honorable. Or a more satisfactory kick in the groin scream is what we need from you at this point. So that sort of thing.
And so these people come in, and this is what they do for a profession. They're very good at it, and they're given the dialogue. They've all read their lines numerous times. They've gone to web resources. We tell them the sort of things they need to look for. We actually did a 20-minute explanation of the voices which we send out to them. So they're busy giving the words, and you have that great moment as a designer or a writer. You're able to hear the words come alive, and you're able to hear them float through the speakers, and they give a completely new understanding to the game you're making.
Sigma. Comrades in arms. Comrades in arms? Risen again? Are you having a laugh? Suddenly I'm Ricky Gervais.
The character is sort of going, don't let me be the last emperor of the empire, stand with me to... He's calling upon a dead god, effectively, to help him.
But he's not an emperor.
Oh, explode like a pigeon.
Eat like an orc, explode like a pigeon.
There you go, next one.
You're adventuring? You're adventuring? You're lucky to be alive. You're lucky to be alive. You're lucky to be alive. Have you no fight? Pistons? What use is pistons to me?
Order must prevail. Show them elven skill. Show them elven skill. Hold your head high.
I'd like to add a couple more cursing. So
Who wouldn't?
do Nadgers.
What?
Nadgers. Nadgers.
Rhymes with badgers.
Badgers.
Nadgers!
Nadgers.
As I'm getting hit.
Yeah. Please.
Nadgers!
Here we go. Hold on. Take 15.
Can't wait for the slate.
Here we go.
Nadgers! Nadgers!
Blimey.
Blimey! Blimey!
Lummox.
Blummix?
Like lummox.
With a B.
Yes.
Blummix! Blummix!
And
Pasties.
Pasties!
The note here, the Shining Host is the name of your army, so you're going to say it with pride. We are the Shining Host.
Okay. We are the Shining Host, and we will never falter. We are the Shining Host, and we will never falter.
Can I have one more like the first one?
We are the Shining Host, and we will never falter.
Biggest challenge of this project so far has been getting Paul to leave the town alone so that we can actually get the work done. He just wants to put glasses on them, talk to them, impress them with his knowledge of Warhammer and his fancy pants. Once we get that under control, the second biggest challenge would be, frankly, getting all the different characters in the game voiced by a small number of actors.
And the ability of these men and women to just hit a tone or change the way they talk and then hit a level of consistency on it time and time again. Bear in mind that when we're recording, they're jumping from different scripts all the time. And so what we do is we generally play back 20 seconds of their high elf, and then they can quickly, I don't even know how they do it, they can just move their vocal cords back to that range and just bang it out again.
Let's do the tree action first.
The tree first?
The tree first.
Once more with
Practice
barkiness.
cleaning. Let's hear your...
Sorry, hold on. Can I hear a little bit of the...
Yeah, get back to our tree board.
1,000 voices echo the lament of the forest. Who dares come here to make war with the trees? 1,000 voices echo.
Okay, take two.
Oh.
Good.
There's been a lot of giggling, and most of it we can't use in the game, unfortunately, until we get the rated M for mature version of the game on the shelves. But there is a lot of dialogue that takes place in pubs, so the direction might be you're a dwarf, you're drunk, you're telling another dwarf a joke about your wife, and it'll start out as what's on the page, and then it sort of grows and expands to all sorts of things that come off the top of actors' heads or are suggested by other people in the room. And there's been a lot of very funny things. I'm trying to think which ones that I can repeat. Some involving the aristocrats.
Wrecked them, hell! Damn near killed them!
Good.
It's the aristocrats. That place.
And the agent says, what's it called? And he says, the aristocrats. It's the aristocrats.
Fabulous.
Good.
Has this army got a name? Yes, the aristocrats.
Good, hang on a second. Come on out for a second.
Brad's dead.
Just remember, if you scream loudly enough, you will get your budget for your sound room.